Lalita Sahasranama is a stotram, and a stotram is a collection of shlokas. Shlokas meaning uh, quartets, those which have four-legged pieces of 8 syllables each. And this stotram is described as being one of the most poetic and most beautiful and elegant stotrams there is. And it is quite appropriate because it is dedicated to the goddess herself. Goddess who is the divine feminine and who is the master of all arts, poetry, and beauty. The deity in this is referred to as Lalita Maha Tripura Sundari. Lalita Maha Tripura Sundari. So she is the most beautiful entity there is in all the three worlds, and her name is Lalita. Lalita literally means one who is very playful or one who is oscillating. Lalita. And from which word we also derive the word Lalitya. Lalitya is a rhythm, a flow, ebbs and flows. Lalita is therefore signified as the entity, the cosmic entity, which is responsible for all motion in the world, for all movements, for all playfulness, for the entire purpose of creation itself, which is said to be a Leela. Again, Leela and Lalita are synonyms. And it also comes from the word lalana. Lalana means to, soothe the baby, to sing a lullaby. Lalanam. And it also refers in this aspect to Lalita as being the divine mother. Lalita Mata. And the first name itself, as we shall see today, is Shri Mata. She is the supremost mother. So this is briefly about the deity who is it is being addressed to. Of course, the entire other 186 shlokas will be talking all about her only. This stotram itself occurs in the Brahmanda Purana. Out of the 18 Ashtadasha Mahapuranas, one of them is Brahmanda, and it occurs there as the Samvada, a dialogue between Agastya Muni and Hayagriva, Bhagavan Hayagriva. And Bhagavan Hayagriva is an avatar of Vishnu, is a form of Vishnu with the horse head in his aspect of killing the Hayasura. When he killed the Hayasura and saved the Vedas, that form is said to be that of Hayagriva. In fact, it is also said to be the equivalent Guru Murti form of Vishnu, whereas the Guru Murti form of Shiva is said to be Dakshinamurti. That of Vishnu is said to be Hayagriva. And here in this uh, aspect as being the Guru, he is imparting the knowledge unto Agastya Maharshi. And this is especially important because we see a greater worship of divine feminine, that is Devi, in the south of Vindhyas, which is said to be the domain of Agastya Maharshi. So it is quite, you could say, coincidental, or you could say it is causational because of the same reason that maybe Agastya Maharshi would have dispersed this Vidya all throughout the south of Vindhyas. So especially Maharashtra, Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, and abundantly in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, it is seen, and of course also stretching to some parts into Bengal. And that Bengal effect is more so because of Kamakhya than because of Agastya Maharshi. Still, the Agastya Maharshi has played a very crucial role in bringing this aspect of knowledge, which is the Sri Vidya and the Lalita Sahasranama, to the south of the Vindhyas. One other point I wanted to highlight today was that this text talks about two most critical and popular themes of spirituality, which is namely the Kundalini and secondly the Sri Chakra. Sri Chakra as well as Kundalini are the same thing, in fact. One is the Yantra form and one is the more Tattva form. So Kundalini represents the Tattva, the subtler abstract energy which is present, and when represented on a geometric shape, it is called a yantra, which is the Sri Chakra yantra. And the yantra, when projected in 3D, becomes the Sri Chakra itself. The crystal, the quartz shaped mountain like structure that we see, which is most popularly worshipped in all large and old temples of Devi. This Sri Chakra has also been brought into vogue first by Agastya Maharshi, that is, as bestowed by Bhagavan Hayagriva, and secondly, it was popularized by Adi Shankaracharya in his many campaigns in the south as well as in the north, when he did Prana Pratishtha or Punarajjiva of any pre existing Devi temple. He would do a Pratishtha of the Sri Chakra, upon which he would do the Pratishtha of the Devi Murti, and thus has spread the parampara of Sri Chakra Puja. Even till date, even in the mathas that he established, there is an unceasing worship of Sri Chakra every single day. We shall talk more about Sri Chakra as and when we discuss those relevant um, shlokas. For now, let's do the Nyasa. Now, before that, we will not be, as a quick disclaimer, we shall not be going over the Purva Pithika nor the Uttara Pithika of the Stotram because it is very large. It is also a part of the Brahmanda Purana, the same Purana, in which this comes as a sandwich, a cocooned shell, where the outer part is talking about how and when this stotra must be chanted. And the inner essence is, of course, the stotram. And then there is another seed which tells you what the fruit of chanting the Lalita Sahasranama is going to be. To quickly summarize all of this, all these Puranas and Stotrams, and in fact, our religion in general itself, always has this carrot and stick model where the benefits are shown as the carrot held before us, and the stick is what the yamas and the niyamas, what must and must not be done, with the fear of papa, and of course the carrot being um, the benefit, the price of punya. So this is what the model which is followed throughout all Purva Pitika and Uttara Pitika is. Since we do not have much time in these 30 days to deal with them, I have I'm presently humbly before you saying that we will not be doing that. But of course, while chanting, it is nice and important that you chant the Purva Pitika at least. We shall only be doing the Nyasa, where the Nyasa stands for who the Rishis are. So every stotram has a Rishi, Devata, and Chandas. Just as in the Vedas, every mantra would have a Rishi, Devata, and Chandas. Who was it first given by? In which Chandas is what is the meter of the shloka? And third, who is it being addressed to? So these three is a non-negotiable part of any stotram. And then for what purpose, with what purpose or with what benefit in mind are we doing this? That is also said in the Nyasa. And this serves as an oath or a vow that we are taking, before getting into the actual action itself. All these parliamentarians, before they get actually elected into the parliament, they are made to take an oath, is it not? So first they acknowledge that they will be loyal to the country and they will not divulge any information and all of that. So similarly, we are first acknowledging the parampara from which this stotram has come. For what purpose? What is my purpose in chanting this? And who is it being addressed to? Because when you're sending a letter, right, you have to properly address the to address, from address, and so on. Otherwise, it will not get delivered. So this is the most important objective of the Nyasa. Once we do the Nyasa, we will be doing one Dhyana Shloka. The Dhyana Shloka, which I have picked, is the first one, which is the Sindhura Aruna Vigraham. The dhyana shloka of any stotram is meant to visualize the form of the Devi or the Devata. So in this case, it is Lalita Mahatripura Sundari. So she is being imagined in certain with certain features and certain traits, with certain weapons, color, and so on. And what is the point of this? It is to make the mind more meditative, because without our mind being focused on a certain concrete form, it becomes very difficult to actually understand the meanings, and more so develop a one-to-one relationship, a one-to-one connection with the deity being talked about. So the form is important. So the first, the saguna aspect, and then the meaning, which is the quite nirguna aspect. The mind always, to what, even to a genius, the form becomes a preliminary step. Hence the dhyana shloka. Dhyana literally means a meditation on the form, an imagination, a focusing of the mind on the form. So first we are setting our intentions right with the nyasa. Secondly, we are bringing our mind to focus through the dhyana. And then with such an established mind, hopefully, at least with a good attempt at bringing the mind into focus, we will have made ourselves somewhat eligible to start chanting the actual mantra, the actual shlokas. Let's go over the nyasa. Om. A quick invocation to Ganesha. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye. Om Shri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. Asya Shri Lalita Sahasranama Stotramala Mantrasya. अस्य श्रीललिता सहस्रनामस्तोत्रमाला मन्त्रस्य वशिन्यादिवाग्देवता ऋषयः वशिन्यादिवाग्देवता ऋषयः अनुष्टुप् छन्दः अनुष्टुप् छन्दः श्रीललिता परमेश्वरी देवता श्रीललिता परमेश्वरी देवता. One second. श्रीमद्वाग्भवकूटेति बीजम् श्रीमद्वाग्भवकूटेति बीजम् मध्यकूटेति शक्तिः मध्यकूटेति शक्तिः शक्तिकूटेति कीलकम् शक्तिकूटेति कीलकम् श्री महात्रिपुरसुंदरी प्रीत्यर्थे, or you can also say Parameshwara Prityarthe, Parameshwari Prityarthe, whoever your Kula Devata is, you can take their names also, or whoever your Ishta Devata is can be chosen. If you wish to dedicate this stotram to the Ishta Devata or to the Devata of the stotram itself, which is Shri Lalita Mahatripura Sundari Prasada Siddhidvara. श्रीललिता महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी प्रसादसिद्धिद्वारा चिन्तित फलावाप्त्यर्थे चिन्तित फलावाप्त्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः जपे विनियोगः जपे विनियोगः. So what we have just told here is that we are beginning with the Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, and this is a Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotra Mala Mantra. It is equivalent to being a mantra, and it is a Mala Mantra. Mala is that which is quite long. So you'll see that the shlokas, the entire two quarters, the two padas itself will constitute just one single word. So lots of samasas and lot of sandhis will happen, and that could be one of the reasons it is called the mala mantra. And second reason is a mala is a garland, right? And this garland is said to be, this mantra itself is said to be the garland worn around Sri Lalita Tripura Sundari. And therefore, it is also called the mala mantra. And mala, why do we wear a necklace? Why do we wear uh, all these ornaments? To make ourselves feel good is one, for humans. And secondly, the purpose of wearing it is to show the status of this person, is it not? So if I wear a gold ornament, a gold necklace, it says I'm quite affluent, and a diamond one more affluent, and so on. Similarly, this being the mala of Lalita Tripura Sundari itself shows how great this entity who is wearing this mantra itself as a mala is. And secondly, the Rishayaha, who the authors, the first original authors of this stotram are, is given, which is the Vashini Adi Vagdevata. It is the Vagdevatas themselves who are the rishis. Though Hayagreva Bhagavan is narrating this to Agastya, Agastya Muni, the first original authors of this stotram were the Vashini Adi Vagdevataha. Vashini is one of the leaders of the Vagdevata Gana. There is a troop of, mm, I would say, demigods. It's not the right translation, but Devata would be a lesser god. So there is Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, the most supreme. And then the second rung of hierarchy has these Devatas called the Vashini, Kameshwari, etc. And they form the troop called as the Vagdevata Gana. They were the first people to, or people were the first gods to compose and recite this before Lalita Tripura Sundari herself. So Vashinyadi Vagdevata Rishayaha. And this is very important because, as you have seen, many of the other stotrams are composed either by human rishis or could be by avatars, as in Shiva Sahasranama was composed by uh, Tandi, who was a Muni, but then he rose to the level of uh, a Brahma Rishi, and then he was able to get the Shiva Sahasranama, and then Vishnu Sahasranama was composed by Bhishma, and so on. But whenever it comes to the goddess, it is always one of the devatas themselves alone who are capable of composing such stotrams of great energy and potency on the Devi. And we have seen this not only with Lalita Sahasranama, but also if you see in the Rig Veda itself, the Devi Suktam was composed by Devi herself on herself. So the Rishi there is Vak Ambrini. So her name itself is Vak, and then it was composed on herself. So it starts as Aham Rudre Bhirva Subhischara Myahama Aditye Ruta Vishwadevai. So Vak also is a synonym for Saraswati or Devi in general. Similarly, in the Chandi Patha also, it is Brahma first who did the Brahmastuti of Devi, of Mahakali, then the Indra, the other Devatas of of Mahalakshmi, and then once again Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, and the others and other Devatas of Mahasaraswati too. This goes on to say that to do a stuti of Devi is much harder and requires much more caliber than the other gods. Not to say they're any lesser, but it has been so that all these compositions have only been made by the Devatas themselves. Then this Chandas, the meter is Anushtup, which is very common, as is for the Vishnu Sahasranama as well as for Shiva Sahasranama or any other Ramayana, Mahabharata, other Puranas and Itihasas. Lalita Parameshwari Devata. So the Devata, the deity which is being addressed to here is Lalita Parameshwari. Srimad Vagbhava Koteti Bijam. The Bija mantra. Now there's also other three aspects to a stotram, which is the Bija, Shakti, and Kilaka. Bija is the seed from which the energy of the stotram gets activated. The bija is Shrimat Vagbhava Kuta. I will explain this when this very word occurs once again in the Lalita Sahasranama. I will explain it there. Madhyakote Shaktihi. So the manifestation of energy is facilitated by Madhyakuta and Kilakam, and the lock after it has been expent or after it has revealed its secrets, it is locked up by an energy called as Shakti Kuta. So these are three different energies governing three different aspects of the mantras. One is the activation, the initiation, sorry, Bijam is the initiation, Shakti is the flow of energy, and then third is the putting an end to it and locking it back up. That is the Kilakam. Lalita Mahatripura Sundari Prasada Siddhi Dwara. So with the blessings of Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, Prasada Siddhi Dwara, if she is pleased with us, may she be pleased with us, and then through that, Chintita Phala Avaptyarthe, to gain whatever desires, the fruits of those desires that we have imagined for ourselves, to in order to achieve that, avaptyarthe, to attain that, jape viniyogaha. This stotram is being used in the form of a japa. Many people also say parayane viniyoga if they are doing a parayana. Now the difference is just that a japa can be done as many number of times as you wish, where a parayana must be complete in itself. That is, at least one entire reading must be done, and there are other restrictions as to the time, place, ambience, shuchitva, and other things. So it's rather easy just to say it is jape viniyogaha. We are doing a japa, recitation of this stotram. ध्यानम् सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीम् आपीनवक्षोरुहाम् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीम् आपीनवक्षोरुहाम् पाणिभ्याम् अलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् पाणिभ्याम् अलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणाम् ध्यायेत्परामम्बिकाम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणाम् ध्यायेत्परामम्बिकाम् सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीम् आपीनवक्षोरुहाम् पाणिभ्याम् अलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीम् सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणाम् ध्यायेत्परामम्बिकाम्. So the words here are split as follows: Sindura Aruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Mauli Sphurat Tara Nayaka Shekharam Smita Mukhim Apina Vaksho Ruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्न घटस्थ रक्त चरणां ध्यायेत् पराम अंबिकाम. So, looking at the meaning, though the meaning given here is a little abridged. Sindura. Sindura is vermilion. Kunkuma ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So that is Sindura. Aruna Vigraham. Aruna is the shade of orange which is there at sunrise or at sunset. Mostly at sunrise. That particular shade is called Aruna. Sindura Aruna Vigraham, the form, the body of which deity, of which Devi, is a mixture between dark red and yellowish orange, a mixture of both, a blend of both. Sindura Aruna Vigraham, Trinayanam, she has three eyes. Manikya is rubies and emerald. Manikya. Mauli Sphurat. So she wears, Shekhara means her head or her crown has all these jewels of rubies and emerald. Manikya, Mauli, Sphurat. Mauli is on the head. It is shining, it's resplendent. Sphurat. Tara Nayaka. Tara are the stars. Like the stars, all these jewels are spread across in her crown. And there is a Nayaka. As the biggest of all those gems or those jewels is the moon itself, right? So there is all these jewels in her crown which represent the Tara, which represent the stars. So she is being envisioned in the cosmic form. So all the stars have become those jewels, and the pendant of that is the moon itself. Tara Nayaka Shekharam Smita Mukhi. She isn't frowning, unlike Kali or Durga. She is very peace and calm and is very serene. Smita Mukhim, she is gently smiling. Apina Vaksho Ruham. So her bosoms, and this is quite common. It's not nothing to be, it's not a taboo topic. While describing Devi, the authors, first themselves being females, Vagdevatas, have described her in all her form without any restraint or duplicitous morality. So they do describe her features very openly, very candidly. So they have described her to be having very filled breasts, apina vakshoruham, thus signifying her motherly aspect, ever ready to give birth to another universe itself, and sustain it. Apina vakshoruham, panibhyam alipurna ratna chashakam. Panibhyam is in her hands. She is holding alipurna ratna chashakam. Ali is ale, the English word ale, right? Which is wine. She holds a cup, a ratna chashakam. It is also studded with jewels. This cup, which has ale in it, Alipurna Ratna Chashakam, Rakta Utpalam Bibhratim. She is holding with another hand a very red lily. You can think of it as either lotus or a red lily. Raktotpalam Bibhratim. Saumyam. She is of a very serene, very pleasant, endearing form. Saumyam. Ratna Ghatastha. Rakta Charanam. Her legs, Rakta Charanam, uh, are adorned with this mehendi, which looks very red. What is the word for mehendi in English? Does anybody know? Anybody has an idea what the red color they apply during weddings, etc., is called? Henna, henna. Henna. So that henna, which is adorning her feet, which look glistening red, Rakta Charanam, and Ratna Ghatastha, and those feet have been placed on top of a vessel, again, which is overflowing with Ratnas, with rare commodities and gems. Dhyayet Param Ambikam. And who are we to focus upon? This form is of the Param Ambikam, the Supreme Mother. Param Ambikam Dhyayet. This way, we must meditate. Dhyayet means we must meditate on this form of the Divine Mother, as was described earlier. That is, with the reddish orange body, three eyes, a crown full of jewels of the stars, and then the majestic crescent moon with a smile, abundant breasts, Panibhyam, and with her hands, she is holding in one hand a wine filled uh, tumbler, and then another, she is holding a red lotus. Her feet are, and this entire body is pleasant and calming. Her feet are placed on top of a jug of gems, and her feet are adorned with henna. This is the form that we are to meditate upon. In fact, in this very definition, in this very stotram, this at least in the first shloka, we don't see her with the four hands, but in the subsequent shlokas, we see her with the other shlokas, that is, other four hands, that is Ankusha, Pasha, and others. So the first shloka has basically captured her essence, where she is shown as this embodiment of the divine feminine, the motherly aspect. Second is her complete dominance, her reign over the entire universe, thus with her, which is thus signified with her crown, with all these jewels, and her cosmic form, wherein the stars and Chandra itself as the ornaments and jewels. And then her tattva as being the guna of Rajas. She has the Rajo guna in her, therefore represented as the Aruna, the red aspect, because red is associated with Rajas, white with Sattva, and black or blue with Tamas. So in this form, she is envisioned as being dominated by the Rajas, though she is, of course, beyond all gunas. In this present form, she has more of Rajas. She is also Saumya. She is also very peaceful and not really at war, unlike Chandika, Durga, or Kali. She is being worshipped for bestowing Ratna, which is why the Rakta Ghata, she has a tumbler of jewels and gems, thus signifying that she is going to bestow us, she is ready to bestow us with wealth and prosperity. And she has a tumbler of wine, which is to signify in her left hand, the left hand literally means the Vama Marga, the Vamachara, where she is approachable even through the Tantric Kaula Marga, as well as through the Dakshina Marga, which is why the lotus in her right hand. So the lotus is usually used as a symbol for Dakshina Marga, or also called as Savya Marga, which is where we do the worship through pujas, flowers, Naivedya, Mangalarati, and all that. Whereas she's also approachable through the Vama Marga of the Mada, Maithuna, the Panchamakaras. What are they? The Matsya, also called as meat, Matsya or fish specifically, Matsya, Mamsa, Maithuna, Mada, and Mudra. So these are the five aspects which are used, five ingredients which are used, of course, in a controlled manner, as and when required only, to please a certain deity using bija mantras, bija aksharas, and other ambient conditions, which is called the Vama Marga. So Devi as in herself can be approached through both means, which is why the Alipurna Ratna Shashaka as well as Rakta Utpala. And for what purpose? This is for Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam. So all the wealth of the world being at her feet shows that all material gains that we may think of or that we may be in pursuit of is just a very tiny, insignificant thing as compared to Param Ambikam, as compared to the larger form, the larger, more vast spiritual enormity of Devi herself. Some people actually associate Lalita Tripura Sundari, I mean, at least the Vaishnava traditions associate this as a description of Lakshmi, which is quite fair. And similarly, Lalita in Shaiva traditions is associated with Gauri in her more peaceful form. And again, in the Advaita traditions, she is more closely associated with Sharda, with Vak herself, because the Ganas are called Vagdevatas and the Supreme Deity herself is called Vak or Sharada or Saraswati. Whatever be the case, this is Lalita in her most fundamental essence. Let's do one shloka and then we can wrap the class up. Before we do that, are there any questions or comments? Anyone would like to share any other thoughts? Please do share. There is one hand up. Thank you. My honor too. Anybody else would like to add or make a comment, remark? Please feel free. Yes, Usha ma'am.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sarvabhyo Namaha. This is about the rated dye, which I couldn't get it immediately. It is called as Alta.
What is it called?
Alta. It is called Alta or Arthur, but not Arthur actually. Alta. ALTA.
ARTA. Okay.
Traditional red dye or a coloring agent. It's in the Indian subcontinent, like the South subcontinent or South Indian culture. Especially if you remember in Bharatanatyam and all, they'll apply the reddish or the henna from the Mehndi tree leaves.
Correct.
What they say that like this particular henna tradition came from the West Asian culture, not the Indian, Bharatiya culture. So, Alta, and also when you were explaining that red represents Rajas Tattva, when I was searching in the description, Lalita Devi is related to, represented with the red because of a Rajas Tattva, and so is the altar, which is actually a red, not the Mehndi or henna.
Wow. Okay.
That's just the point.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is so informative. It is called ALTA, is it? ALTA. Alta. Yeah, please do. Very interesting. Dhanyavad. Yes, anybody else would like to make any more comments? Please feel free. This is an open discussion, though, I mean, it has been so in the previous run of Shiva Sahasranama too, where I do most of the talking. Unfortunately, it has to be so, but please do feel free to bring up any point of contention or support or your own unique elements or takes of this during this 10 or 15 minutes. Namaste.
If we are not doing it over here, if you can just record it and put it either on Samskrta or maybe in the group.
Surely, Ari, I would definitely do that. Yeah. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Any more suggestions? Any more comments? Interpretations? Okay, so this was the Dhyana Shlokam. From the Now the actual Sahasranama will begin with Shri Mata Shri Maharajni. I would request very strongly to all of you that you please pay attention. Make sure that you practice each of these 186 shlokas dutifully. Make it a regular thing. Am I audible? Oh. Please make it a regular thing, at least even after these 30 days. I beseech all of you to keep practicing this at least until you get the flow of the shlokas and improving your accuracy of pronunciation day by day. Please do not do just the 6 or 7 shlokas we do every day. Make sure that you start from the beginning and go through all those previously chanted shlokas till that particular day's set of shlokas. All right, let's start. Om श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला. The word split here in the first sloka are Shri Mata, Shri Maharajni, Shrimat Simhasaneshwari, Simhasana Ishwari, Simhasaneshwari, Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta, Deva Karya Samudyata, Udyad Bhanu Sahasrabha, Chatur Bahu समन्विता राग स्वरूप पाषाढ्या क्रोध कारांकुशोज्ज्वल क्रोध आकार अंकुश उज्ज्वल क्रोध आकार अंकुश उज्ज्वल together becomes क्रोधा कारांकुशोज्ज्वल क्रोधा कारांकुशोज्ज्वला क्रोधा कारांकुशोज्ज्वला श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला. So these two will be the shlokas as homework that you will be taking. Before tomorrow, please make sure that you practice these two shlokas along with the nyasa and the dhyana shlokam as well. For the rest of the remaining 8 minutes, since we started at 7:10, I will just continue chanting it. You may choose to join me at your own homes, of course, with the microphone off, just so that you hear the melody of the shloka, and also notice how large as a mala all these words together are joined in ways of samasas. Okay, maybe I will cover 25 shlokas in the next 7 to 8 minutes. Of course, we will be repeating all of them, and I shall be teaching them over the course of the next 30 days too. श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरमज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला चम्पकाशोकपुन्नागसौगन्धिकलसत्कचा कुरुविन्दमणिश्रेणीकनत्कोटीरमण्डिता अष्टमी चन्द्रविभ्राजदलिकस्थलशोभिता मुखचन्द्रकलङ्काभमृगनाभिविशेषका वदनस्मरमाङ्गल्यगृहतोरणचिल्लिका वक्त्रलक्ष्मीपरीवाहचलन् मीनाभलोचना नवचम्पकपुष्पाभनासा दण्डविराजिता ताराकान्तितिरस्कारिनासाभरणभासुरा कदम्बमञ्जरी क्लुप्तकर्णपूरमनोहरा ताटङ्कयुगलीभूततपनोडुपमण्डला पद्मरागशिलादर्शपरिभाविकपोलभूः नवविद्रुमबिम्बश्रीन्यक्कारिरदनच्छदा शुद्धविद्याङ्कुराकारद्विजपङ्क्तिद्वयोज्ज्वला कर्पूरवीटिकामोदसमाकर्षिदिगन्तरा निजसल्लापमाधुर्यविनिर्भर्त्सितकच्छपि मन्दस्मितप्रभापूरमज्जत्कामेशमानसा अनाकलितसादृश्यचिबुकश्रीविराजिता अनाकलितसादृश्यचुबुकश्रीविराजिता कामेशबद्धमाङ्गल्यसूत्रशोभितकन्धरा कनकाङ्गदकेयूरकमनीयभुजान्विता रत्नग्रैवेयचिन्ताकलोलमुक्ता फलान्विता कामेश्वरप्रेमरत्नमणिप्रतिपणस्तनी नाभ्यालवालरोमालिलता फलकुचद्वयी लक्ष्यरोमलताधारता समुन्नेयमध्यमा स्तनभारदलन्मध्यपट्टबन्धवलित्रया अरुणारुणकौसुम्भवस्त्रभास्वत्कटीतटी रत्नकिङ्किणिकारम्यरशनादामभूषिता कामेशज्ञातसौभाग्यमार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता माणिक्यमुकुटाकारजानुद्वयविराजिता इन्द्रगोपपरिक्षिप्तस्मरतूणाभजङ्घिका गूढगुल्फाकूर्मपृष्ठजयिष्णुप्रपदान्विता नखदीधितिसञ्छन्ननमज्जनतमो गुणा पदद्वयप्रभाजालपराकृतसरोरुहा शिञ्जानमणिमञ्जीरमण्डितश्रीपदाम्बुजा मरालीमन्दगमना महालावण्यशेवधिः सर्वारुणानवद्याङ्गी सर्वाभरणभूषिता शिवकामेश्वराङ्कस्था शिवा स्वाधीनवल्लभा सुमेरुमध्यशृङ्गस्था श्रीमन्नगरनायिका चिन्तामणिगृहान्तस्था पञ्चब्रह्मासनस्थिता महापद्माटवी संस्था कदम्बवनवासिनी सुधासागरमध्यस्था कामाक्षी कामदायिनी देवर्षिगणसङ्घातस्तूयमानात्मवैभव भण्डासुरवधोद्युक्तशक्तिसेना समन्विता सम्पत्करी समारूढसिन्धुरव्रजसेविता अश्वारूढाधिष्ठिताश्वकोटिकोटिभिरावृता चक्रराजरथारूढ सर्वायुधपरिष्कृता गेयचक्ररथारूढमन्त्रिणी परिसेविता किरिचक्ररथारूढदण्डनाथा पुरस्कृता ज्वालामालिनिका क्षिप्तवह्निप्राकारमध्यगा भण्डसैन्यवधोद्युक्तशक्तिविक्रमहर्षिता नित्या पराक्रमाटोपनिरीक्षणसमुत्सुका भण्डपुत्रवधोद्युक्तबाला विक्रमनन्दिता मन्त्रिण्यम्बा विरचितविषङ्गवधतोषिता विशुक्रप्राणहरणवाराही वीर्यनन्दिता कामेश्वरमुखालोककल्पितश्रीगणेश्वर महागणेशनिर्भिन्नविघ्नयन्त्रप्रहर्षिता महागणेशनिर्भिन्नविघ्नयन्त्रप्रहर्षिता भण्डासुरेन्द्रनिर्मुक्तशस्त्रप्रत्यस्त्रवर्षिणी कराङ्गुलिनखोत्पन्ननारायणदशाकृतिः महापाशुपतास्त्राग्निर्दग्धासुरसैनिका कामेश्वरास्त्रनिर्दग्धसभण्डासुरशून्यका ब्रह्मोपेन्द्रमहेन्द्रादिदेवसंस्तुतवैभव हरनेत्राग्निसन्दग्धकामसञ्जीवनौषधिः श्रीमद्वाग्भवकूटैकस्वरूपमुखपङ्कज कण्ठाधः कटिपर्यन्तमध्यकूटस्वरूपिणी शक्तिकूटैकतापन्नकट्यधो भागधारिणी मूलमन्त्रात्मिका मूलकूटत्रयकलेवर कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसङ्केतपालिनी कुलाङ्गना कुलान्तस्था कौलिनी कुलयोगिनी अकुला समयान्तस्था समयाचारतत्परा मूलाधारैकनिलया ब्रह्मग्रन्थिविभेदिनी मणिपूरान्तरुदिता विष्णुग्रन्थिविभेदिनी आज्ञाचक्रान्तरालस्था रुद्रग्रन्थिविभेदिनी सहस्राराम्बुजारूढा सुधासाराभिवर्षिणी तडिल्लता समरुचिः षट्चक्रोपरि संस्थिता महाशक्तिः कुण्डलिनी विसतन्तु तनीयसी भवानी भावनागम्या भवारण्यकुठारिका भद्रप्रिया भद्रमूर्तिर्भक्तसौभाग्यदायिनी भक्तिप्रिया भक्तिगम्या भक्तिवश्या भयापहा शाम्भवी शारदाराध्या शर्वाणी शर्मदायिनी शाङ्करी श्रीकरी साध्वी शरच्चन्द्रनिभानना शातोदरी शान्तिमती निराधारा निरञ्जना निर्लेपा निर्मला नित्या निराकारा निराकुला निर्गुणा निष्कला शान्ता निष्कामा निरुपप्लवा नित्यमुक्ता निर्विकारा निष्प्रपञ्चा निराश्रया नित्यशुद्धा नित्यबुद्धा निरवद्या निरन्तरा निष्कारणा निष्कलङ्का निरुपाधिर्निरीश्वरा नीरागारागमथनी निर्मदा मदनाशिनी निश्चिन्ता निरहङ्कारा निर्मोहा मोहनाशिनी निर्ममा ममताहन्त्री निष्पापा पापनाशिनी निष्क्रोधा क्रोधशमनी निर्लोभा लोभनाशिनी निस्संशया संशयघ्नी निर्भवा भवनाशिनी निर्विकल्पा निराबाधा निर्भेदा भेदनाशिनी निर्नाशा मृत्युमथनी निष्क्रिया निष्परिग्रहा निस्तुला नीलचिकुरा निरपाया निरत्यया दुर्लभा दुर्गमा दुर्गा दुःखहन्त्री सुखप्रदा दुष्टदूरा दुराचारशमनी दोषवर्जिता सर्वज्ञा सान्द्रकरुणा समानाधिकवर्जिता सर्वशक्तिमयी सर्वमङ्गला सद्गतिप्रदा सर्वेश्वरी सर्वमयी सर्वमन्त्रस्वरूपिणी सर्वयन्त्रात्मिका सर्वतन्त्ररूपा मनोन्मनी माहेश्वरी महादेवी महालक्ष्मीर्मृडप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्त्वा महाशक्तिर्महारतिः महाभोगा महैश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धिर्महासिद्धिर्महा योगेश्वरेश्वरी महातन्त्रा महामन्त्रा महायन्त्रा महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्प महाताण्डवसाक्षिणी महाकामेश महिषी महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी चतुष्षष्ट्युपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटियोगिनी गणसेविता मनुविद्या चन्द्रविद्या चन्द्रमण्डलमध्यगा चारुरूपा चारुहासा चारुचन्द्रकलाधरा चराचर जगन्नाथा चक्रराजनिकेतना पार्वती पद्मनयना पद्मरागसमप्रभा पञ्चप्रेतासनासीना पञ्चब्रह्मस्वरूपिणी चिन्मयी परमानन्दा विज्ञानघनरूपिणी ध्यानध्यातृध्येयरूपा धर्माधर्मविवर्जिता विश्वरूपा जागरिणी स्वपन्ती तैजसात्मिका सुप्ता प्राज्ञात्मिका तुर्या सर्वावस्था विवर्जिता सृष्टिकर्त्री ब्रह्मरूपा गोप्त्री गोविन्दरूपिणी संहारिणी रुद्ररूपा तिरोधानकरीश्वरी सदाशिवानुग्रहदा पञ्चकृत्यपरायणा भानुमण्डलमध्यस्था भैरवी भगमालिनी पद्मासना भगवती पद्मनाभसहोदरी उन्मेषनिमिषोत्पन्न विपन्न भुवनावली सहस्रशीर्षवदना सहस्राक्षी सहस्रपात् आब्रह्मकीटजननी वर्णाश्रमविधायिनी निजाज्ञारूपनिगमा पुण्या पुण्यफलप्रदा श्रुतिसीमन्तसिन्दूरीकृतपादाब्जधूलिका सकलागमसन्दोहशुक्तिसम्पुटमौक्तिका पुरुषार्थप्रदा पूर्णा भोगिनी भुवनेश्वरी अम्बिकानादिनिधना हरिब्रह्मेन्द्रसेविता नारायणी नादरूपा नामरूपविवर्जिता राजराज नारायणी नादरूपा नामरूपविवर्जिता ह्रीङ्कारी ह्रीमती हृद्या हेयोपादेयवर्जिता राजराजार्चिता राज्ञी रम्या राजीवलोचना रञ्जनी रमणीरस्या रणत्किङ्किणिमेखला रमा राकेन्दुवदना रतिरूपा रतिप्रिया रक्षाकरी राक्षसघ्नी रामा रमणलम्पटा काम्या कामकलारूपा कदम्बकुसुमप्रिया कल्याणी जगती कन्दा करुणारससागरा कलावती कलालापा कान्ता कादम्बरी प्रिया वरदा वरदा वामनयना वारुणी मदविह्वला विश्वाधिका वेदवेद्या विन्ध्या चलनिवासिनी विधात्री वेदजननी विष्णुमाया विलासिनी क्षेत्रस्वरूपा क्षेत्रेशी क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञपालिनी क्षयवृद्धिविनिर्मुक्ता क्षेत्रपालसमर्चिता विजया विमला वन्द्या वन्दारुजनवत्सला वाग्वादिनी वामकेशी वह्निमण्डलवासिनी भक्तिमत्कल्पलतिका पशुपाशविमोचिनी संहृता शेषपाषण्डा सदाचारप्रवर्तिका तापत्रयाग्निसन्तप्तसमाह्लादनचन्द्रिका तरुणी तापसाराध्या तनुमध्या तमोपः चितिस्तत्पदलक्ष्यार्था चिदेकरसरूपिणी स्वात्मानन्दलवीभूतब्रह्माद्या नन्दसन्ततिः. All right, let's stop here. It's been quite some time. We have completed 80. Of course, we will be doing all of this once again from tomorrow onwards. We shall go over the meanings of each of them too tomorrow. Just to give you a quick teaser, the first sloka begins with a great declaration that Lalita is Shri Mata. So the first word itself is Shri Mata, Shri Maharajni, Shrimat Simhasaneshwari. She is the greatest of all beings, the creator of all beings. Therefore, she is a mother to all of us. Shri Mata, Shri Maharajni. There, Shri can also be perceived to mean the universe. Shri Srishti. So the mother of Shri, the mother of Srishti is Shri Mata. Shri Maharajni. There it can be used both as a word for respect and auspiciousness. When you say Shri Narendra Modi, Shri, etc. So there, Shri Mata could be an honorary, but it can also be as the Srishti's Mata, the mother of creation, Shri Mata. Shri Maharajni, she is not only the creator but also the ruler, the queen, Maharajni. She is the ruler. Raja is a king, Rajni is a queen. Maharajni, she is the great supreme ruler, therefore setting in place all the laws, the cosmic, the heavenly bodies, the cosmic laws, physics, chemistry, maths, all that, and the law of karma, the dispenser of karma phala, etc., is all she. Shrimat Simhasaneshwari, and thus she is sitting over a simha. That is one meaning, as in the actual Durga form, where she sits over a simha as her asana. The other meaning is, of course, she has ascended the throne as that of an Ishwari, as that of the greatest, the Almighty, the most powerful being in the universe, which is Ishwara itself. So she is Ishwari. And then Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta, she is born from the Agni, the fire of consciousness. Chid Agni Kunda Sambhuta Devakarya Samudyata, and she was born for the reason for doing Devakarya, though she likes to be in her unmanifest form, in her Nirguna Anirvachaniya form. She does take birth as an avatara for doing what? For doing Devakarya. Perhaps that is the reason why all stotrams on her are composed. I mean, the main stotrams on her are composed by the Devas themselves, because they sought her help in either battles against asuras or for bestowing some boon upon them, etc. But what she is Sri Mata in the sense of duality. She is God herself, and there is this universe. That is one level of understanding. And then secondly, being the God, it's not just that she just created and threw the baby away. It is she is also looking after it. So she is Maharajni. She is controlling and looking after it. And she has all majesty, power, and glory with her to ascend the throne of the Ishvara Padavi. And thus she reigns supreme over everybody else. Everything, everybody, and all forces are under her. And how did she arise? She has come through the Agni, the fire of consciousness. That is when there is a deep yearning of awareness and love of bhakti, jnana, and vairagya. She arises from that kunda, that Agni kunda, and she manifests herself only for the purpose of Deva Karya. And so she's very particular in why she takes on a form. Just as Sri Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So just as he said, he promised that he would take forms, he would take an avatara to do dharma samsthapana. She takes form to do deva karya, to aid the devas alone. Astu. So this has been the first glance at the Lalita Sahasranama. Any comments, any questions are welcome. Of course, we did overshoot our time, and please expect such overshooting from time to time. It's very, yeah, please go on, Mohoday.
This reminds me of, I think, Swami Dikshita's song, Shri Chakra Raja Simharsaneshwari. Same, I think same words are used.
Correct, yes. Yeah, please do. That's a very famous song, very poetically sung and composed too. Anything else? Please feel free, speak up. This is an opportunity to make this monologue into a dialogue. Okay, so then let's wrap this first session up. Tomorrow we shall meet at the same time, same joining link with the next set of shlokas. Make sure you practice the Nyasa, Dhyana Stotram, Dhyana Shloka, and the first two verses of the Sahasranama. Astu. Dhanyavada.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.